Hello and welcome to our tour around Pembrokeshire.
Hi, it's us.
Here we are at Freshwater East Beach, near where we stayed. It's a lovely, peaceful little bay which is really pretty.
And it rains a lot. The sea looks like it could be Spain, doesn't it?
Here we are, having left the site, and we visited Tenby, which is a lovely little seaside town just up the coast, about 10 miles from Freshwater East. As you can see, it rained a bit there as well, but it's a lovely little town, really pretty, especially when you get the weather.
And like the rest of the theme for Wales, lots of blue houses.
Yeah, lots of blue houses. Here we were visiting the Tudor Merchant's House, which is a National Trust property there, and is set out like a Tudor Merchant's house. And there's St Catherine's Island. Then we also visited Pembroke.
And there's motorhome parking there, look.
There's motorhome parking near where the castle is. Well, at the bottom of the hill. Another thing about Pembrokeshire is it's very hilly as well as pretty wet.
And remember, it's 20 mile an hour now.
It is now 20 miles an hour.
20.
But we're on our scooter, so 20 feels like 50.
Mate to you.
Does to me.
Doesn't to me.
So here as we go up you can see Pembroke Castle.
There's the castle there.
It is actually the birthplace of Henry VII. And as we come round you can see the main street. Pembroke's a lovely little town with lots of little shops and cafes.
We're turning left, but if you go straight ahead towards the clock,
that's the main street. And here, as we go across the bridge,
which is a river,
and a mill pond, on the left hand side you can see a statue of Henry VII. Quickly.
Who's Henry VII?
Ancient king. And then we also visited Lamphey's Bishop Palace, which is owned by Caddo. It dates back to the 1300s, and it was actually the country retreat of the bishops who stayed at St David's. As you can see, they clearly had to slum it. But it was a lovely, peaceful place to be, popular with families, because it's a lovely wide space which is pretty safe for kids.
Did you see it was a palace?
Bishop's Palace. There's me, taking some photos and admiring the place.
It's not really a palace, is it?
Well, depends what you compare it to.
Well, that's really pushing it, like.
Here's some of the outer buildings. And there's what remains of the palace itself. It is free to get into.
Looks more like a castle to me.
Really good value for money.
That's definitely a castle. If that was on a chessboard, it would be a castle.
It does look like a rook. Yeah, especially from that angle. But it's part of the palace. It is only literally about 5 miles from Freshwater East. Not even, I think, that. It is at Lamphey, which is the next village along.
What do you mean you don't think even that? You need to know for these people.
About that. There you can see another bit of the wall that's left.
Rocks.
And a nice chimney.
Lots of rocks.
And what fascinated us the most, or me, was there was a big bee's nest on one of the walls. Here you can see the bees making the nest with their honey.
Yeah. You couldn't reach them for the honey though, could you?
No, they were pretty high up and out of the way of most people, so they were completely harmless. And like Stephen says, you couldn't have stolen the honey unless you happened to take a great big ladder with you that day.
I don't think bees have arms, so they can't be harmless.
Next we visited St David's.
Yeah.
It's Britain's smallest city
think they've
on
got coloured-
population, not size.
And they've got coloured houses there.
And they're a city because they have St David's Cathedral, which is this one here. Those who liked to retreat at Lamphey Bishop's Palace. Here you can see inside the cathedral. It's a lovely building. Again, it was free to get into. And it is pretty impressive. With a lovely cafe. Here you can see one of the chapels.
Check out the candlesticks.
And here you can see one of the little quadrangles inside.
It's a garden.
Quadrangle. 4 sides. And next we popped over to Fishguards. We didn't actually find anywhere to park because we also had the trailer on the back of us, which is one of the downfalls of having a trailer which makes you nearly 10 metres in length.
No, Monkey said he didn't want to stop.
Monkey might not have wanted to stop.
No, he didn't.
The cat was keen though, so it was probably an argument between them.
No, there wasn't. Monkey just didn't want to stop. Monkey's looking at the sky.
Yeah, maybe he didn't like it. Probably didn't like the weather because, as you can see, it was very misty. So we wouldn't have had the best view of Fishguard in the world.
That's now 20, by the way.
Yeah, I assume that's also now 20. It's got the street lights.
And there wasn't any fish. Or gods.
Oh, God. And like the rest of Pembrokeshire, it's extremely hilly. But should you be getting a ferry or something into Fishguard to be around the area, it looks well worth a visit. It's a really pretty looking place.
Mm.
So you can
Oh,
see,
20, look.
here's the bridge.
Got the first one up.
That was just for the bridge, wasn't it?
Ah.
And there you can see the harbour. A little bit of parking. If we hadn't had the trailer, we could probably have squeezed in it if it wasn't busy.
Blue houses.
Yeah, more blue houses for Stephen.
Not for me. I'm just stating a fact.
Some more cafes and pubs. And the hill going back out of Fishguard.
In a blue house.
And back to 30.
Which will be now 20.
It might not be, there's no street lights.
What's your point?
Street light thing, isn't it? And there you can see a quick view again of the harbour covered in mist. Then we also went to Bosherton Lily Pond. This is actually the 8 Arch Bridge. And here's the lily ponds themselves. These are part of the Stackpole Estate, which is National Trust. And they're really lovely to see.
There was lots of birds there.
And a slow worm, which I always thought was a snake, but is actually a legless lizard.
It's a snake.
He's a legless lizard.
There was lots of birds though, wasn't there?
And here we have Broadhaven South Beach, which is next to Bosherston. And thank you for watching. Here we now have our top tip.
Hi everybody. My next top tip is this stuff here. It's called polymorph moldable plastic pellets. It's small plastic pellets. I've got to keep looking over there because... And what you do with it is you put it in hot water. You can buy it from eBay in a bag of 100 or 100 grams or 500. I think I've got a kilo altogether. I've had mine for a few years now. And you put it in hot water and it will go soft at around about 60 degrees. Pour out the water once you see it goes clear and then shape it into any shape that you like. Once it goes cool, it will go rock hard, like proper hard plastic again. And so I'll show you some of the things that I've used it for. Obviously you can use it for anything, but one thing you can't use it for is anything that stays hot, like bits on a car engine and stuff like that. Okay, one thing I used it for on the seat is the seat bracket plastic cover was missing, so I used it on this, as you can see, and it went rock hard and it covers the bit of metal, so it's just handy to use because the plastic, proper plastic thing which is on that one you can see there was missing altogether. Another thing I used it for, okay, outside, another thing I used it for, I put these thermal security locks on the doors, and you can see just down there, I put some down there because the shape of this was an awkward shape, so the lock wouldn't fit properly. So I filled it with polymorph, and obviously when it goes rock hard, it's been like that, and it's been on the van for about 3 years now. See how it works. It's very straightforward. You put some into a tub, cup, whatever you want to use, and basically put your hot water in, and you can see it's changing already. It's going clear. Okay, and then you'll pour the water out, which I'll do now. Pause that.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it. I poured the water out, and it just goes into this sticky plastic stuff, and you just reshape it into anything you want, like so. Anything you like. For example, I can make a ring with it, like that. Just squeeze it together. Now once it's went hard, if for example you're using it for a car headlight, a broken car headlight bracket, you could let it go hard, and as soon as it goes hard, you can super glue it, for example, because it's just a rock hard plastic. I'll put my finger under the cold water tap and show you what it goes like once it goes off. Okay, I've ran it under the cold water just to speed up the process, and as you can see, that's it there. So I can take it off. It's now a solid ring, and it's really hard. You don't have to force it to go hard. You can just leave the temperature and it will eventually cool down. It's ideal for anything in the van that you might need to fix, or even in your house or for your car. And just a little thing as well, got the bag of polymer here, and once you've used it, you can also put it back away, and then when you reheat it, you can use it for something else. I hope that helps.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching.